So I come down and this guy was talking to somebody else about recovery. Me, I never knew recovery. We didn't speak of recovery. People didn't read recovery.
Recovery is an ongoing thing. Yesterday I recovered. Today I'm recovering.
So I walked up to the guy and I asked him, I said, what is that you telling this guy about? And he said, well, you can come over here, go in this building right here. We got something for you, to turn your life around. And that was the best thing. It was a God-blessed thing for me until I found the recovery that I needed.
I've been a member of the Room in the Inn community since August of 2008. During my journey here at Room in the Inn, I've gone through the Veterans Per Diem Recovery Program. An important part of my recovery has and will continue to be working. It was through the Workforce Development Program that I found out about the job readiness classes.
I work at Room in the Inn in the Workforce Development Department. Just to give you a little idea of what we try to do in this department is start from the beginning in helping people find jobs and keep jobs. We start with things as basic as helping people get an email address, putting together a resume, learning how to put together applications. In the past year or so, we've helped about 250 people find employment. We set up 2 small businesses in the Room in the Inn, one of them being a cafe and the other being a bike shop. They really learn how to get along with the participants, with themselves, and work successfully with the public. We use the bikes later on in the program for people who need transportation. We are always looking for opportunities out there to employ our guys. We built a partnership with Bridgestone Arena, and it's been absolutely fantastic.
I've been at Bridgestone since September of 2009.
We just started hiring some folks, and there hasn't been any negatives at all from this experience. Everything has been positive. When Jerry calls or someone calls and says, hey, we have some folks, and what's your need coming up for your next job fair, we jump on it.
What we found with the guys that we work with is that they have a lot to prove to themselves. They've gone through a tough patch in life. It could be a short one or it could be a really long one. So they make a commitment. They make it to not only themselves, but to Room in the Inn and to the employers, because they realize that they have to do something and to really improve their lifestyle, to really move on in a very positive way.
When I was active in my addiction, if I didn't feel like going into work or whatever, I just didn't show up, wouldn't call, this, that, or the next thing. Through the workforce development, I've become not only a more responsible worker, responsible for my actions on the job, but responsible enough that I no longer assume that if I just don't show up to work, I've still got a job the next morning.
We have a pretty good success rate in the businesses, and the businesses have actually come to us and said, we need to promote this guy, we need to train him for another job.
When I'm speaking to other human resource professionals, I would absolutely encourage them to get involved with this.
I've also been able to enroll in college courses through Lipscomb University.
The LIFE program, which it's an acronym for Lipscomb Initiative for Education. The LIFE program essentially takes courses that would be offered on the Lipscomb campus and relocates them.
As I recall, my grade for street law was a B, and right now in English comp, I'm working on an A. If you truly desire a better way of life, you need to work at it. But the benefits far outweigh the work put in.
I'm 55 years old, so moving on up in years. Sometimes I feel the age, sometimes I don't. I love gardening. My granddaddy, when I was a little tot, he used to put me up on the tractor and let me hold the steering wheel. And I really thought I was driving it. He worked on a lot of farm, had a farm himself. So we'd come up doing a lot of planting and garden. I really took into liking that, and it's something I do at the Belmont House. I got a garden over there. The Belmont House is a step up. Have starting your own life again. If you make through the program, saving up your money, it's more like going back into life, having your own place, your own apartment, paying your own everything.
I started at Room in the Inn as an intern through the Belmont Social Work program, and then once I graduated, I was hired as a full-time staff member. I've lived in the 12 South neighborhood since then, which is the neighborhood where the Belmont House is with the Odyssey program. I had no idea that there were people from our program living so close to me. It kind of creates a new sense of community, that there is true rehabilitation in what we do at Room in the Inn, and true second chances, no matter how old or young someone is, no matter what problems someone may have, there's still a purpose.
I'm in the process of getting a house. You know, I'm going through the classes now, and spring we're gonna break ground and build. It's gonna be a blessing. The money I got saved, whatever it is, that's what I'm gonna pay toward the house. Then I have something to leave for my grandgirls, my grandkids. They call me granddaddy today. Lord knows I've been up, down, and done a whole lot of damage to myself and the family members, especially my kids. You know, I just keep on living, to keep on believing that it's gonna get better, because it does. You gotta keep believing and wanting it.
I hope to just continue to be a good example for those who might want to try this way of life. It's the best thing that's happened to me, and I couldn't tell you how long.
You really want this way of life today, be yourself, learn something, get something, and give something back. But most of all, be willing. And I knew I had to be willing for anything to work.
What we are trying to do here at Room in the Inn is to provide opportunities for more long-term solutions. We want to be engaged. We want to be an us instead of us versus them in our community, in our neighborhood. And we're really glad with the opportunities with our partners in our workforce development. We are a viable part of downtown Nashville, and we can succeed together.